I don't know how to tell you this, so I'm just going to come around and say it. We're all going to be rich. That's right, the Cincinnati Bengals are visiting the Baltimore Ravens tonight, and there's one bet on the board that could bankrupt the entire sports betting industry. I actually hope it doesn't, because I know we all like to bet sports every day, but it's out of our hands at this point. It's not on us. We didn't hang the dumbest line of all time. We're clean. Not to pile on, but there's also a way to use DK's no sweat same game parlay tonight that's going to be studied for scholars for years to come. That's all coming up. But first, do yourself a favor and subscribe to this channel. Just do it. Make a YouTube account if you don't have one. That way, you can watch videos just like this, and you can catch all the live streams. We almost curb stomped the shit out of FanDuel with yesterday's parlay that we built on the stream. Look at this thing. It was glorious, and it was a Cole Anthony 3 away from changing the world. Best of all, it was built by everyone on the stream, and we can just build another one just like it today. But anyways, let's talk football right now, and let's talk Tanner Hudson over 2.5 receptions plus 103 at ESPN Bet. This is my #1 rule for betting Thursday night football. If you can, take a guy that most people have never heard of to go over his number. In this case, it's 2.5 receptions. That way, when you're out watching the game with your buddies and they ask what you bet on, you can just say, Tanner Hudson over 2.5 receptions, knowing damn well they never heard of the guy. Then, when he cashes, you're now the sports betting god of your friends group. The only thing I'd watch out for is if your buddies bring their girlfriends to watch the game, because it gets really awkward when they all want to leave with you at the end of the night. Just keep your head on a swivel is all I'm saying. But this isn't about us and all your buddies' girlfriends wanting to bang you. This is about Tanner Hudson. For whatever reason, the Bengals are all of a sudden a tight end team. They actually throw to those guys now. Over the last 2 weeks, only one team in the entire NFL has targeted their tight ends more than the Bengals have. I know 2 weeks isn't a large sample size, but this is the NFL. Things move fast. Whatever. Now, I know the haters are already saying, Slop, the Bengals have 3 tight ends and they all pretty much play the same amount of snaps. That's true. But as usual, the haters have not thought this thing through. One of the tight ends is Drew Sample. That guy is an elite blocker. He has to stay in and block. The guy barely ever goes out and catches a pass. And when he does go out to catch a pass, they don't even cover him. We saw him catch a touchdown just the other day like that. The same goes for the other guy, Irv Smith Jr., to an extent. He will go out and run routes, but he's also a decent blocker. He did catch a touchdown recently, but again, he only caught one pass that day. That just leaves Tanner Hudson. The great thing about him is, he can't block. He's not a good blocker at all. So when he's out there, he's actually an option in the receiving game. The man has been targeted 12 times in the last 2 weeks. That's good enough for me. What's even better is the Bengals could play this game from behind, which means they're going to have to throw the ball more than they want to. When that happens tonight against the Ravens, the tight end's probably the play. David Njoku just caught 6 balls on these guys last week. A couple weeks before that, Trey McBride went for 10 catches. I don't see how this thing could possibly lose. Now, I get that people make mistakes, and I'm a second chance guy, but this is the kind of mistake that sportsbooks don't come back from. ESPN Bet had a good run, but I doubt they'll exist tomorrow, and they'll have themselves and Tanner Hudson to thank for it. Now, obviously, we're not just going to roll into the Thursday night football game with a single bet on a tight end no one's ever heard of. We're going to go to the no sweat SGP at DraftKings. It's only going to be 3 legs, so we're just going to warm up their ribs a little bit, but it's a plus 9,000 one. DK has been giving out these no sweat parlays for a little bit now, and even though they'll only refund $5 for us, I still think it's worth it, especially if you're going to go the anti-correlation route like we're about to do right now. What do I mean by that? It's simple. Take a couple guys to score touchdowns and then hit them with the under. I know this isn't a Connor Allen show, but we're taking an under. The only way I'll ever condone taking an under is if you're going the anti-correlation route like we're about to do. It is so fun. It just makes sense. And all you guys that can't wrap your brains around this, try real hard. Like, try one more time for me. Open your DK apps and play around. Take a couple guys to score a touchdown and take the over. Now, take out the over and replace it with the under and see what that does to the odds. They jump higher than Spud Webb. But here's the thing. I know it kind of doesn't make sense, but guys score touchdowns in games that go under all the time. It literally happens in every game that goes under, almost. Just Monday night, that game went under. Guess what? There were 5 touchdowns scored in that game. We just have to pick the right guys. So why not Gus Edwards 2+ touchdowns? He's done this before. In fact, he's done it in 2 of the last 3 games he played. The Ravens should be running the ball. The Bengals can't stop the run. This just makes sense. Then we add our boy Tanner Hudson to the mix just to score once, just for fun. Then we take the under. Bump it up a little bit, now it's a party. It's a plus 9,000 party. We've only accounted for 21 of the 51 points that will be needed for this game to go over and have our under lose. That's not a big deal. We're talking $5 to win 455 bucks if this thing cashes. And if it doesn't, DraftKings will just give us our money back. We're living the dream out here, guys. See you guys on the live stream later. Don't forget to turn on the notifications.